I'll go AC then and C. So my opponent brings up four contentions. First says hurts one's image because it gives a bad impression. Well, I think that there's different views on which people respect and view you. He brought up the example, for a perfect example of Barack Obama. Got up here and started cursing. Yeah, I would agree. Well, people would probably be like, what did he just say? But I don't agree that all teenagers would be like that too. So I don't think that everyone would respond the same way. Secondly, he says that it corrupts the language because, you know, it's not part of the language. It's we should use more meaningful and descriptive words. I don't know about you, but the F word is considered pretty descriptive and colorful. I think it's considered an adjective, a noun, a verb, an adverb. I think it's pretty creative. So also his third contention is that it retaliates, and this is where I directly clash on him, because I think that it actually reduces the amount of violence, because instead of just resorting to violence first, you can let off some steam and curse at them, call them whatever you like. And also, my partner makes a direct correlation between profane words and retaliation and offense, like violence. But cursing isn't necessary for retaliation. You can just have a guy who just has trouble with anger issues. And you don't even have to use curse words. You can insult him without using expletives, and he will get mad, and he may just punch you. So I don't think it's the direct relation that profanity will result in cursing. Profanity will result in violence. Lastly, he says that it's bad for society because 80% of American teenagers don't consider it. They consider profanity okay. So I guess he's inferring that teenagers like it, so it must be bad for society. My opponent's standard, he has no standard for morality. It's just that right or wrong. So since I give you moral relativism and he gives you nothing, I think you got to accept my theory of moral relativism for evaluating moral principles. And so he says that laws are there are laws which delegate what is right or wrong, well, describe what is right or wrong and moral. For that one nation, each nation has different laws. That is why we have different nations, because not everyone agrees on the same things. And all these nations is part of the world, and I consider the world society. So you may say that laws dictate what is moral and immoral, but there's different sets of laws out there. If everyone had the same standard for what is right and wrong, we would just have one universal code. I don't think we have that. Now on to my contentions. The first contention is freedom of religion, and my opponent tries to counter this with that my King James it said dumb, and that's not profane. Well, I said that was the tame translation, that the new one that they fixed. Also, even though he mentions that Christians think it's immoral, well, I don't think that's the only religion out there, so I don't think we should be considering that as a set standard for morality. My opponent agrees with my second contention that it's a coping mechanism and it helps alleviate stress, so just extend that across your judging balance. And my third one he has not mentioned yet is subjectivity, and that in history we just have different, in history there's different types of curse words, and soon we're going to look at our kids and be like, what'd you just say? And so I think that it just depends on the age, the race, the culture. You just can't evaluate morality by a set standard. That's why moral relativism is good for the win. All in all, profanity is too subjective to be morally evaluated as immoral. Something that's immoral has to be agreed upon as immoral. Society encloses a wide range of individuals with all different perceptions of this. Keep in mind that I do not have to prove that profanity is moral, because it's morally obligatory and morally permissible, just that it's not immoral. unless my opponent, can provide a reasonable set of principles to judge morals, and classify profanity as immoral, the negative side wins this debate. So to sum it up, zounds, don't be a stubborn, beef-witted knave, but negative.